97.1 FM. Southern California's only 24-hour local news and traffic station.
KNX, KNOU-FM, KRTH HD2 Los Angeles. KNX News.
97.1 FM. Depend on us.
3 o'clock. You ready for a change? For 100 years, KNX has been Southern California's most trusted source for news. Breaking news, traffic updates, local news. That is not changing. We're still going to be here. You can depend on us. Here's what is changing. KNX News is now on 97.1 FM.
For over 100 years, some of the most important events.
George Walsh reporting KNX News.
Recognize a state of war between the United States and Germany.
The Japanese have attacked Pearl Harbor, Hawaii by air.
Life-changing moments.
Leader Dr. Martin Luther King died tonight in Memphis, Tennessee.
Senator Robert Kennedy has been shot.
Mr. Simpson is still in the vehicle.
Have happened on KNX 1070.
Small step for man.
When LA was rattled by earthquakes.
KNX 1070. Our building is beginning to shake here in Hollywood.
438 now, a little bit of an air. There's another aftershock coming in.
Now. Please be prepared for more shaking.
Landslides along Pacific Coast Highway.
We had at least one freeway collapse.
When wildfires threatened.
Crews now dealing with multiple wildfires across Southern California.
Unforgiving, relentless wind gusts.
Watching an intense fire battle.
We got flames about 70 feet over my head.
KNX is the place Southern California depended on.
4 LAPD officers are acquitted of all charges in connection to the meeting of motorist Rodney.
The United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama bin Laden.
For 100 years, you listen to KNX 1070.
This is a case where they're trying to steal an election.
Confident he knows he hasn't won.
And just like the news changes every day,
we now have more than 10,500 confirmed COVID-19 cases.
We're about to change. Now.
We stand at an inflection point.
And for the next 100 years.
Now is when the real work begins.
You're about to hear KNX in a whole new way.
Black Lives Matter protests take place all across the United States.
People getting in the fight, it's just all of a sudden got quite violent.
You'll hear KNX crystal clear and static free on 97.1 FM.
And available everywhere.
To see the video, go to our Instagram or Twitter feeds at KNX News.
We begin with Dr. Anthony Fauci.
We are obviously dealing with an evolving situation.
This is news.
For a new generation.
My responsibility as president will be to represent the whole nation.
The governor says more federal money.
Gen X workers have found it tough going.
Still keeping a close eye on the stolen car pursuit.
From Irvine to Santa Clarita.
Widespread racial bias and other problems.
From Anaheim to Sherman Oaks.
We're in the midst of another severe drought.
This is
KNX News.
97.1 FM.
Here we go. For the first time on this side, good afternoon. This is news. This is KNX News, 97.1 FM, Southern California's only 24-hour local news and traffic station. I'm Mike Simpson.
And I'm Karen Adams. Our top local story at 3:03. A renewed effort to recall L.A. County DA George Gascon is now underway. Organizers gathered at the Hall of Justice to submit a formal notice to the DA.
Those organizers include crime victims, former members of the DA's staff, and victims advocates like Kathy Cady, who accused Gascon of violating his oath of office and state law by not allowing filing of gang or gun enhancements against defendants accused of committing violent crime.
We want to make sure that our communities are safe, that this incredible rise and spike in crime is actually handled, that people are kept in custody when they should be kept in custody after they've committed various heinous crimes.
The group needs to collect 579,000 valid signatures in 160 days to make the recall happen, which means realistically they should gather about 800,000 just to be sure. Funding is apparently not an issue this time around, as the group has already gotten $2.5 million in pledges to support the effort. At the Hall of Justice, Pete Demetrio, KNX News, 97.1 FM.
Winner of the Kentucky Derby, Medina Spirit, collapsed and died following a morning workout at Santa Anita.
Blood, hair, and urine samples were immediately taken from Medina Spirit and sent to the California Horse Racing Board, according to a statement from Santa Anita Park. A full necropsy will be performed to try and determine the exact cause of the 3-year-old colt's sudden death, which may have been due to a heart attack. Marty Irby is executive director of Animal Wellness Action, which worked to get the Horse Racing Integrity and Safety Act signed into law to create nationwide anti-doping rules.
On this issue, on horse racing, California has actually been one of the worst states when it comes to the number of deaths and the way that these horses have been treated.
Medina Spirit's trainer Bob Baffert issued a statement saying he will always cherish the proud and personal memories of Medina Spirit and his tremendous spirit. Baffert was suspended by Churchill Downs after the young colt failed a drug test after his Kentucky Derby win. Margaret Carrero, KNX News, 97.1 FM.
Voters could decide next year whether to increase the minimum wage to $18 an hour here in California by the year 2026.
The minimum wage is already slated to go to $15 an hour, but Joe Sandberg, a wealthy entrepreneur and an anti-poverty activist, says that's still not enough for most people to make ends meet. He's filed paperwork to try to get the initiative on the ballot next November. Ken Jacobs, who's chairman of the UC Berkeley Labor Center, tells KNX raising the minimum wage could make a big difference for struggling families.
And there's been some good new research out that's found that increasing the minimum wage does bring especially parents of small children into the labor market.
Because they can better afford to pay for child care so they can go to work. Jacobs, who has not yet studied Sandberg's proposal, says so far employers have been able to adjust to increases in the minimum wage. John Baird, KNX News 97.1 FM.
A strong police presence on some school campuses today in Southern California. Details 2 minutes after traffic is 3:05.
Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the 5s. Denise Fondo.
We've got a new problem on the 118, and this is on your eastbound drive just past Reseda Boulevard. It looks like you've got a couple of cars involved in this one, and traffic is stopped as CHP tries to get this crash over to the shoulder out of the carpool lane. On the 210 in Pasadena, westbound side, a little bit before Allen, we've got a new wreck here. A two-car crash, looks like one took off. So you got one car there waiting for CHP on the shoulder of the road. Let's head to Brian Douglas, 91, Anaheim Hills Jam Cam.
Your drive is jammed, unfortunately. Earlier, Caltrans work really did a number on your drive here. The main line now backs up before you even get to Imperial. Fast track moving a lot better, and that 241 really heavy northbound coming out of the tolls. Denise.
In Elysian Park on the 5, headed south just north of Stadium Way. Got a couple of cars reported here, and we might have some injuries in this one. That's on a pretty narrow right shoulder, so I would definitely get out of that far right lane. Next report, 3:15, with more reports more often from the Toyota of Glendora.com Traffic Center. KNX News, 97.1 FM.
Finally going to see rain this week. A couple chances actually today. It's mostly sunny skies. Clouds on the increase tonight. First chance for rain tomorrow. Next chance, and the bigger storm will be on Thursday. That's the better chance. 5-day forecast, 3:15, 65. Sherman Oaks, Hollywood, 67. Huntington Beach right now, it's 63 degrees.
It's 3:07. A college student who traveled to the East Coast for the Thanksgiving holiday is now L.A. County's second known confirmed case of the Omicron.